Andre Corbeil.
That's right.
This is Petey Williams' definition of Maple Leaf Muscle, and I need you to subscribe to Andre Corbeil on YouTube.
We got the hardcore legend, an icon in this industry, none other than Mick Foley.
DDP better put some damn clothes on or I'll whoop his ass. And that's the bottom line, cause Stone Cold said so.
AKA formerly Brodus Clay the Funkasaurus, and you do know that.
We'll see you at the matches.
Ladies and gentlemen, wrestling fans tuning in worldwide, Andre Corbeil, your official 1WRESTLING.com TNA Impact Wrestling reporter for the legendary icon, the one and only Bill Apter. Yes, fans, we'll see you at the matches. Now, look to my left here, none other than Matthew Hart. How you doing?
Good.
Welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Now,
Nice.
give the fans a little bit of an update on who you are, where you come from, how to follow you on social media. I guess we'll start with the social media first.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, right now I'm just on Facebook under Matt Hart. You can find me there. I run that page. I also got my fan page, which is Blackheart, the Blackheart, and it's run by me outside of here in Calgary, which is where you can catch up with me and find out exactly what I'm doing, where I'm going with wrestling, and you know, catch up on the training and seeing exactly what's going on.
And how about where you come from? Like, let the fans know your lineage.
Absolutely. Well, I was Calgary born and raised. You know, being one of the Hart kids, you run around, kind of learn all over Calgary, right? You're here and there. But yeah, I'm the second youngest son of Smith Hart, actually, who's the oldest of Stu's kids, Bret's older brother, and one of the most probably infamous of the family. So that's always a great deal. It's a lot of fun, being one of his kids especially.
And being one of Smith's kids, I'm sure you're street smart.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it's not very easy to pull the wool over your eyes, so to speak.
No, my dad, he is pretty good at teaching all of us to, you know, keep our heads about us and be very smart business-wise and not make sure that we're not exactly having the wool pulled over our eyes at all.
Yeah, your dad's been around and he's been through a lot, and with that comes knowledge and experience.
Oh,
so.
For sure. My dad is definitely, he's one of the most knowledgeable people that I know. He's, his mind goes back years and years and years, and he's, you know, and with that comes excellent stories. You know, you hear all the stories about the old wrestlers and the territory days, and you know, in Japan, and of course the famous Europe story, which is told in a few books. So
you're not going to tell that on this interview?
No, maybe not this one.
Now, Matthew, are there any plans to continue on down the road within the wrestling industry, the wrestling business?
Absolutely. You know, I've had to take the last year and a half off. Just because of, you know, injuries and this and that. But the plan is to start coming back. You know, there's the wrestling ring back up, training starting to go again. Actually, my brother has something going down in Ontario for PWA wrestling. So I'm supposed to be going down here, maybe doing a little bit of tag teaming with him again, which would be great. So I'm hoping to be back in the ring sooner rather than later.
And what's your favorite part of the whole spiel? Is it the crowd? Is it firsts, like experiencing firsts, meeting new people within the industry? How about sharing a little bit of that?
Well, I mean, you know, first and foremost is always the fans. The fans are, you know, the backbone of the wrestling industry. Without the fans, there'd be none of this, right? There'd be no wrestling, absolutely nothing, you know. And the second is definitely the first experience for anything, right? You know, the first time you go in front of the crowd is, you can't describe the feeling.
The rush involved, right?
Oh, the adrenaline is just going and pounding, and definitely, you know, when you meet some of these guys that have been in the business for years, like the Honky Tonk Man is one of my favorites. I've done
Wayne Ferris. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
quite the colorful character.
Oh, he's awesome. So, you know, it's definitely, you run into guys like that, and they have their own stories about the business back in the day, or every once in a while you definitely hear some stories about my grandfather Stu which I love hearing, right? You know, you can never get tired of hearing stories.
Well, let me. And apparently, nobody ever broke a hold that Stu had cinched in.
Oh no, you couldn't. His holes were they're locked in tight. I've had a couple thrown on me by my mentor, not by my grandfather. Ever, I was too young.
And who's your mentor, if you don't mind me asking?
He's Jeff White. He wrestles under Chris Garvin down in Ontario. There, he was a dungeon student. He came down. He trained in the dungeon during his final years there with TJ and Harry and all them. So. And
speaking of TJ and Natty, of course.
Oh yeah.
You must be really proud of them right now, what they're doing within the industry.
You know, I definitely can't express exactly how proud and happy I am to see that the push that they're getting with the WWE right now. I mean, I can't think of too many people that deserve it more than those two, especially because TJ and Natty, they're hard workers. You know, TJ's given his life to this business as has Natty. So when I see him win the titles again for the second time, that was, you know, a great joy for sure. And
they're involved against the New Day this Sunday as a part of WWE's Payback pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And I'm sure hoping they regain those tag team championships. And I'm sure you're on the same page as I am.
I'm definitely on the same page. You know, I think everybody out there would agree that the New Day sucks. You hear that chant quite a bit. So definitely, hopefully we take the gold again. You know, I think TJ deserves it, and so does Cesaro. Cesaro's a great athlete, you know, and very great worker. So.
And Cesaro hasn't meshed with some of the other people that he's been blended in with, and him and TJ just seem to have that camaraderie, that gelling, that...
They do. I mean, I think that's what happens when you take two great athletes and you put them together that definitely have that chemistry, that spark, and they are definitely one of the best and most exciting tag teams I've seen in a while.
So are you predicting gold at WWE Payback for...
I'm predicting the gold on WWE Payback for sure. I think it's in TJ's future. So,
I don't think they're going to win because of how short of a time span that the New Day have been champions. So Wrestling 101 tells me that it's not going to happen. But in my heart, and that's H-A-R-T, I sure hope they pull it off this Sunday.
Definitely. I think a lot of people do too. But you're right. The New Day, they haven't held the championship for long, and so they're definitely going to have that drive to try and keep it a little bit longer, I think, and you know, we'll see. Hopefully they prevail in the end, TJ and Cesaro.
Well, obviously, I'm going to ask you a WWE question since we're touching base on WWE right now, and you look at the background, fans, you know that that's a TNA background, so I'm going to follow that up with a TNA question as well.
Absolutely.
Now, within the confines of the WWE roster, who stands out the most to Matthew Hart?
You know, one of my favorites has been Cody Rhodes, who's now going under Stardust. You know, he's a great athlete. He goes out there, he does it every night, he kills it, I think.
In search of the cosmic key.
Yeah. So I've always been a big fan of his, and then they came out with Stardust, and I love it. I think you know, it's a great character. It's funny. He's very charismatic.
It made him fresh again.
Absolutely.
To a degree. Not that he was stale or anything, but it put him back in the limelight. So I agree.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, the world of TNA Impact Wrestling. Who do you think is the best on the TNA roster? Who stands out to you the most?
The best.
And it could even be some of these beautiful TNA knockouts. It's your choice.
Well, you know, if you're looking at the TNA roster and you're looking at talent and wrestling ability, you get a lot of guys that are great on there. They're full of. It's a very talented roster. But for me, you know, I'm an old school wrestling fan, and everything. And my favorite that they have on there has got to be Kurt Angle. I mean, the guy is a gold medalist and an actual wrestler, and you know, you got to have respect for somebody that's paid their dues in amateur wrestling before they've gone into professional wrestling, because the two go hand in hand, really.
Yeah, and within that transition, I don't think anybody's adopted or adapted to the style of wrestling to professional wrestling quite as fast and quite on the level that Kurt Angle has and did, indeed.
Definitely not. I mean, I think the only person that can match Kurt Angle on that would be Brock Lesnar, and he wasn't an Olympic medalist, but
NCAA champion.
Yeah, but definitely Kurt Angle is heads and tails above everybody, so he's definitely one of my favorites for sure.
And that's real. That's damn real. Andre Corbeil with Matthew Hart. Again, they can follow you on Facebook.
Absolutely, at Matt Hart or the Black Heart, which is my fan page. And hopefully soon a Twitter account. We'll keep you updated on that one.
And of course, always fans, you can follow me at Andre_Corbeil on Twitter. Follow Big Ray at Big Ray Show. Follow the legendary icon Bill Apter at Apter1Wrestling. Bill Schuyler at You Got the Show, and Billy Ray Valentine at Billy Ray Hustle. And you can follow us all on one of the most trusted, incredible wrestling news sites, 24/7 Wrestling News, aka at 1WRESTLING, 1WRESTLING.com. Now we're going to do like my mentor does. Bill Apter, point at the camera, please, and we'll see you at the matches.
See you at the matches.
Peace, fans. Thanks for coming in today.
Andre Corbeil here on ONEWRESTLING.com.
Hey everybody, this is Davey Boy Smith Jr. You're watching ONEWRESTLING.com with Andre Corbeil. And see you at the matches.
This is the Dog of War, Jesse Neal, and we're with Andre Corbeil, and you're watching ONEWRESTLING.com. See you at the matches.
We're all in this for one thing, the wrestling. See you at the matches.
And let's point at the camera like Bill Apter does and say, we'll see you at the matches.
We'll see you at the matches. I'm sorry, guys.